In this video, we will talk about stored procedures in SQL. Stored procedures are used to store your queries at once in a particular place. So whenever you have to run that query again, instead of writing the full query again and running it, you can simply run the stored procedure. Okay, so let me show you how you can create a stored procedure. Okay, let me go to the SQL editor and here let me write a query. Select star from employees where emp underscore number in, and here write select employee underscore number from dpt underscore manager. So basically this query gives me all of the employee records who are managers. Okay, so you can see 24 records this query give. This will simply give me the first name, last name, gender, hire date and birth date of all of the employees who are actually managers. Okay, now I want this query to be executed again and again. So instead of writing this full query every time, I can create a stored procedure for it. So what I will do is I will simply copy this query and then I will go to the SQL editor and here I will create a procedure. To create a procedure, we write create procedure and then we have to write the name for the procedure. Like I write managers, okay, and then you have to use the parenthesis symbol. Okay, now in the next line you can define the query. So here I am writing the same query, select star from employees where employee number in, select employee number from department manager. That's it. This is the syntax to create the procedure, and now I will run this query. So now the procedure is created. If you will refresh the left side, you will see here, you will see a new procedures folder. Okay, and under this folder you can see a procedure named managers will be created. Now if you want to execute this procedure, you can simply click here execute and you can see the same result set. You can also call a procedure like this, call and then managers and then parenthesis. So you can see the same result set here. You can also create procedures with arguments. What I mean is, let me show you with the help of an example. So let's say from the employees table, I want to fetch the employee records who were hired on a particular date. So I will write select star from employees where hire underscore date is equal to, let's say 19920101. Okay, so I will run this query. So it will give me all of the employee records who were hired on 1st January 1992. Okay, now I want to create a stored procedure for it, but I always want to change the value of hire underscore date according to the requirement I have. Okay, so here instead of writing the date manually, I can write a new variable, let's say hire date argument. Okay, and then here I will create a stored procedure, create procedure, and then the procedure name, let's say employee by hire date, and then within parenthesis I write the hire underscore date underscore argument. Okay, and here I have to specify the data type as well. Okay, so make sure data type is important. So let me supply the data type here as text. Okay, you can supply data as well, but text is fine for now. Now it will create a stored procedure with this name that can take this argument, and this argument value, whenever we will call it by passing the argument, will be passed here. Okay, so it will select all of the employee records who were hired on a particular date. So let me run this query to create the stored procedure. Here you can see the employee by hire date stored procedure is created. Let me call this, call employee by hire date, and here I have to supply the date value. Let me write 0105. Okay, let me execute this. So you see I get 35 records. That means on this particular date, 5th January 1995, there were 35 employees hired. Okay, and here are the details of those employees. Now let me create a stored procedure with multiple arguments. So I will write create procedure employee by hire date and gender. Okay, and then here I specify hire date argument and then gender argument. Both let it be text and this also text. You have to just separate the arguments with a comma. Make sure you supply the data type. And then I will write the query select star from employees where hire underscore date is equal to hire underscore date underscore argument and gender is equal to gender underscore argument. So this will be the stored procedure with multiple arguments. Okay, and let me just run this one and refresh this. You see this stored procedure is created. Let me call it by supplying the arguments employee by hire date and gender. Okay, so I will supply the same date, and here I will supply the gender as male. Okay, let me run this. So now you will see all of the male employees who were hired on this date. Similarly, I can edit this query to fetch all of the female employees who were hired on this date. So you can see the result set. That's all about stored procedures in SQL.